Already getting stares.
They're looking at us. They're looking at us.
As they should. We are unusual. Look at this. Welcome. It's already a trash can full of Yoshinoya and Popeyes and dog shit. Popeyes and dog shit and plastic containers. These are a few of the capitalist things. From the McDonald's to the Burger King.
When I'm feeling sad,
I open up my mouth and I eat all that they have.
And then I feel like shit.
The third mind in effect already.
We both knew.
It's like there's a part of me that we're both trying to beat each other to the punch. How's it going?
Good. We're doing great. John, do you know how much easier it is for me to start my hike when I don't have my fucking sombrero? I don't have to weave my hat with my sombrero and
the microphone and the mask and the...
I can't fucking talk right, man. I'm talking about weaving my hat with my sombrero and... I'm beat.
You're out of sorts. You're a working Joe. You're a working stiff. You're six-pack Joe now.
A lot has happened since the last Mind Walk.
So wait, but first off,
yes,
No One Way.
Yeah, it's fucking shout out No One Way podcast.
They just had us as guests. They're a fantastic group of guys. Fucking Rich. Oh, what's Rich's last name? Fuck. We just called him...
Rich Holland?
Rich Holland.
Doesn't it go by like Real Rich, though, on
Real
stage?
Rich on fucking social media by Rich Holland. And Jeff, his brother, I'm going to assume his last name's Holland. And Dub and the Wizard.
They had us on the No One Right Way. Well, it wasn't us, actually. It was you and Goat versus Fish.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It wasn't the Mind Walk pod making an appearance.
But yeah, shout out to them. They're going to have a podcast coming out on Wednesday, so you should go check it out.
Yeah.
And we're thinking of having them on a hike of our own, having some guests on the Mind Walk.
So should we talk about some of these possibilities? Do you want to explore?
Sure.
Yeah. So since they're out in Pedro, and these guys are fucking Pedro, as they said, they kept on calling Jeff the King of Pedro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, you know what hike we should do? Fucking Sunken City, bro. Flat brim haps, fucking Dickie shorts, fucking drinking 40s of fucking Mickeys. Oh, start the hike. Yeah, we made a whole list of things that we're supposed to do, but we didn't follow the list today, guys.
Well, because we're kind of just cramming this one in.
Yeah. You guys get an extra special crammed
Cram walk. Let's go. Force it in.
We're gonna go hike, guys.
It's too tight. Oh, it doesn't fit.
But like you were saying, like you're tired, you're beat, you've been working. We just did a podcast in the middle of, we had an hour drive and an hour back, and it's been a big day, squirrel. But you were like, this is going to be healing.
Yeah.
This is going to be good, and it is, no matter what. If you got an hour, fucking take a hike. Get out. The clue I'm going to give everybody, too, is like, go on your fucking iMaps or Google Maps and just put in hiking.
Put in hiking?
Yeah, and it'll give you all the trails around you. Barney, where you going? He knows this trail so well, he could take the other side of the switchback and know he's going to come up to us.
So, yes.
So Sunken City, which was made one of the reasons it's famous is it's the scene in The Big Lebowski where the dude and Walter inhale Donnie's ashes. They get that last little fucking hit of Donnie. What's the line that he says? Walter, Why do you fuck everything up or something like that? I don't know. I'm paraphrasing.
Sean, there's nothing more sacrilegious than misquoting the Big Lebowski.
Okay, that's not very dude. You're like a human paraquat.
This aggression will not stand, man.
No, it's
Across this line, you do not.
Suddenly become a Big Lebowski podcast.
Yeah. Well, I am a dudist priest, as you know, among my many other religious affiliations.
Yes, Dudism is the true path, the way. Let's roll. Sunken City is this place, and again, like, I don't even really consider it much of a hike. It's a park, and then on the other side of the wall from this park is Sunken City, which is a chunk of San Pedro that fell into the ocean. A fancy neighborhood in San Pedro fell into the ocean in the 90s after the 94 earthquake, I think. Maybe it was probably earlier than that. I can look at it. It's actually, there's a Wikipedia page for it, Sunken City. And it's great because it's all like, kind of like you can see like asphalt roads and curbs. There's like a manhole that just is like a giant chimney. It's kind of this place where people will go and do a lot of graffiti, and the kids used to go out there and smoke drugs and drink 40 ounces.
That sounds fun.
Oh yeah, this was the place where all the local hooligans would just go and hang out, because you could kind of get away from the cops if you go down to the beach. It's a little precarious, but you go down to the beach and then you could just fucking walk up the beach to the next, you could just hang out till the cops leave, because they're not going to go down there because they're usually full of donuts.
So is that why they fine you so much, apparently, for going there? Because they don't want to go there themselves, so they just put a big price tag on it?
Yeah. So we
can't enforce it, so we'll enforce it harder.
Yeah. So there's $1,000 supposed fine, and I think what it is they just wait at the park for when you come out, and then they just give you the ticket as you come out.
Oh, well, that's rather convenient.
Yes, right. Because there's really only kind of, I guess if you went up from the beach and then you went down from the beach, they probably wouldn't care.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
How far are we into the capitalist dystopian nightmare? How much longer before, if they catch you walking back from the hike, that they don't issue a ticket and they just fucking shoot you on sight? It's like, boom, you didn't go where you were supposed to go.
I mean, I'll just depend on how desperate the local constabulary is. Like in Ferguson, we know that they are so desperate for money that they just basically made being black a racket, right? You've heard this? One of the reasons why Ferguson became such a tinderbox a couple years ago is because the police department would just go out of their way to find any reason to give black people a fine. And so it turned out that I think 40% of the total budget of the Ferguson police was being directly from the tiny, 18 or 19% of the population that was black. Was
so hideous.
It is.
Talk about exploitation again.
Well,
why even try and wrangle them to do work for you when you could just
fine them?
Yeah, just fine them, just rob from them, just be a gang and just extort.
Yeah. So that's why when all the stuff went down in Ferguson, it was such a big deal, because they'd been like, look, you already got fucking everything from us and you killed a guy. But it's also Missouri, which when I went to traveling in Missouri, it is still the fucking deep South. It is 100% like nothing has changed there racially or socially for black people in, 100 years. Every department, so I went to, when I was working for the famous actor, because he played a famous character from Missouri, he went and got an honorary PhD in the from William Woods University. So we went out there. How you doing? Okay, good. And every single department was headed by a white person, but then his right-hand man was a black guy.
Huh.
Every single department. White guy in charge, and then the direct his direct underling was a black guy.
That is a weird look.
Yeah. And they were there. They were honoring basically this person's contribution to the local culture, Mark Twain, who was probably an abolitionist, if you're to believe the history. You know, he was humanizing Jim in Huckleberry Finn, or was it Tom Sawyer?
I think that one was... I think that one was The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, if I remember the two guys, Tom Sawyer versus Huck Finn, Huck Finn's a lot slicker than Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tom Sawyer was kind of the square of the bunch, right?
Yeah. Tom Sawyer, I think, was basically Samuel Clemens, and then Samuel Clemens knew a kid that was Huckleberry Finn.
Uh-huh. You sure it wasn't just the original Fight Club?
Maybe Mr. Clemens was much more of a scoundrel.
So, Sean.
Yes.
We're hiking. It's never a bad time to hike.
Yes.
And it's, what day is it? Saturday? Is it Saturday? And we're recording a mind walk for Monday, right?
Yes.
And let me tell you what's going on in this week. I've got Mind Walk,
which we launched.
So there's
12 hours.
And
yeah,
the week of the Democratic National Convention, of which I'm a delegate.
Oh, yes.
And all the organizing that comes with that, being sort of a, I'm not just there to participate in the ritual, but also to try to organize with fellow Bernie people, fellow progressives, and make our own statements and do our own thing. Have our own shadow convention, as it were.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And
the People's Assembly. And then on top of that, I got a gig being in production. I was on a movie set yesterday I started really working when I started renting the U-Haul on my card. That was the price of admission.
Yes.
You have to rent the U-Haul. You have to be the person who's on the line.
Yeah.
And we'll reimburse you. But it's like, if I was going to be driving it, I had to rent it. So I was on the phone at 5 p.m. starting the rental. Didn't get back to my apartment till 5 p.m. I started, and didn't get back till 7 a.m. the next day. No, didn't get back till like 7:15 a.m. the next day. And I guess typical production, would you say?
Yeah, from what I've experienced.
But oh man, I was wearing not my hiking boots. I came prepared. I was wearing my steel-toed boots, Sean.
Oh, those will wear a motherfucker out.
And they were clunking around.
Yeah.
I mean, I was staying still when they said action and speeding and stuff, so that wasn't a problem, but they were clunky. And oh man, it kicked my ass.
Well, wear tennis shoes tomorrow or Monday.
Well, thankfully I don't have to go in tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're just going to do more mind walking tomorrow. I'm so exhausted that I need to go on a mind walk to give myself a better kind of exhaustion.
Well, yeah.
You know, when you say sometimes when people are running, it's like, well, what are you running from? I feel like if only we just mind walk more. Can't I just hike away? As long as I'm hiking on the mind walk,
just mind walk.
Then I don't have to be in the capitalist dystopian nightmare, Sean.
It's true. You're mind walking out of like an explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I was driving a truck. I was hauling tables, moving chairs, rearranging rooms to back how they were originally, except I wasn't there. when they did it originally. So I'm like going by these photos, and it's like doing the best we can to kind of make it look like it, but it's sort of like a rundown church anyway, and things are falling apart anyway. So it doesn't even look that good to begin with.
But you got to make it look the same shittiness it was when you got there, or when somebody else got there. Not even you.
And man, so let me. I don't know if I signed an NDA, so I'll say it like this.
I'd say probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But not to give away the plot. Let's just say that this is what the movie is about. A priest becomes a vampire and murders.
Wait. A holy person becomes a supernatural being?
Yeah, an old holy person, one that you wouldn't suspect would be able to dish out so much carnage. You know, would you really expect the kindly old father to murder the very youths,
Real quick.
What?
See what it said on the back of his shirt?
No, what did it say?
Something, run, cancer survivor.
Cool.
No, cool, but I'm just like, come on.
What?
I mean...
What's wrong? What's wrong with it?
I'm just like, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm not wearing a fucking... Look at me, I survived cancer and all I got was this stupid
t-shirt.
t-shirt.
No, you just talked about it for an hour and a half on your podcast in the inaugural episode.
It's true. Ask me about my cancer scar.
This is Sean. Look at me. I'm not wearing a shirt that says a fact about me. Doesn't that make me
special? I'm better than this guy trail running.
I'm not so ego-driven to wear a shirt that says something on it about me.
No, but I will.
If that motivates him to go out and fucking run every day, then...
But I will lift up my shirt at every chance to fucking show people.
You just want to give him the raw stuff. You don't want the shirt. You should put out your hand on his chest and be like, look, old man, where's your scars?
Let me see him. So,
I've seen a lot of spinals in my time, and this one's a fake. Fucking gold breaker.
So an imam becomes a Frankenstein because he's bit by a radioactive Frankenstein.
So this is, of course, the church they're in is a...
Oh, I see. It's
a
like
house for... What's the word I'm looking for? Wayward youth? Is that the word?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like an orphanage or a house of wayward youth.
So a lot of young, attractive women who are, I don't know, drugs or prostitution or whatever.
Knocked up with the
devil's semen.
Yes. Full of the devil's jizz.
Sperm.
Full of the beast jism.
And, but they get systematically and systemically murdered by the priest turned vampire.
Systemically. That's hilarious.
You're welcome. So, you could, how much art on a scale of 0 to 10, how much art is in that script?
I mean,
in that premise, let's say.
I feel like the art department's got a lot of work to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm in. I'm in the art department.
Yeah.
I feel totally prepared for this moment, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm bilingual.
See?
And I have a master's degree in international relations.
Oh, no, hi. That's the kind of bilingual you are.
Oh, yeah, but they don't put their hands together when they...
Oh, that's true.
Sean.
I know, racist.
I think that's a Thai thing. But it's not a Japanese thing. Japanese are more straight arms at the side.
Yes.
More of a domo arigato, Mr. Roboto kind of thing. But
yep.
So I've got that going for me, which is nice. I've got the sociology bachelor's with the studio art minor.
Oh, that's right. There's your art degree. You're an artist.
So, but it was mostly just schlepping shit from here to there. And yelling, points! 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 Points!
I get
points! What's more degrading than walking around with heavy objects yelling points at people?
I'd say being Chris Hardwick. Whoa! Zing!
I kind of want to be like, I have a point to make.
Points. How's it going?
I assume that's referring to like this table I'm carrying is pointy, so points.
Well, yeah, it has, points, angles, and things that could be caught on.
But oh man, this thing, it dragged on. And the director, who seems like a nice guy, he was wearing this Star Wars shirt. And then there was another gentleman who was doing like the editing, and he was wearing a Star Wars shirt and a Jurassic Park hat at the same time. And there were a few other Star Wars around. And over lunch, the director was lamenting that not more people had joined in his sort of Star Wars day. And I'm like, it's not May the 4th. What are you talking about? But apparently for some sort of B-movie production equivalent of Casual Friday, the director decided, wouldn't it be fun if a lot of people wore Star Wars shirts?
Because aren't we all here because we got fooled by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg to get into the film industry?
Yeah, what are you doing wearing someone else's fucking movie on your own set?
The shilliest fucking garbage fucking, like the lowest hanging artistic fruit of films.
Action. Bang!
Cut. No, like it's anybody in movies. If you said you liked Star Wars, I'd be like, yeah, of course. But have you seen Hidden Fortress?
But I got to see a lot of nuns walking around, which is fun. I got to see the vampire. Sorry, I misspoke there. And that was neat to see the creatures, but oh man, it just... I was tired by the end of it, man. I was tired and I felt a little exploited.
Yeah.
I felt exploited.
Yeah, that's fucking Hollywood, baby.
And I don't mean exploited like exploited, I've been exploited for 20 years, or I just felt like I wasn't sure, like I signed up for a certain amount of pay with the implication that it can't be more than like 12 hours without there being overtime, right?
I mean, that's generally 12-hour flat. That's a 10-hour flat or 12-hour flat are your common, deals that are made along
but
those.
I felt like the power structure was kind of saying, well, you didn't really start until 6. But it's like, no, I started at 5 as soon as I made the call to the U-Haul. And then we may have wrapped at 6:30 or so a.m., but then I had to drive the U-Haul back. And I had to return it, and I had to take the pictures of the U-Haul to say, here's how it looks good, and how it's all in good shape, and that's another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's not and shouldn't be a revolutionary act to say, hey, I should just be paid for every hour that I work, if it's going to be like that, or if you're doing overtime. So I'm not, they haven't denied me this money.
You just haven't asked for it.
I haven't asked for it yet, but definitely it felt like they were already kind of trying to come up with reasons for why. It's like, well, we're all doing this work, and hey, and it's Hollywood, like we're doing what we love and making art, so like, isn't that its own fucking reward? And it's like, no.
Can I give you another?
The mind walk is its own reward.
The mind walk is its own reward, and reward us, please.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you another fucking arrow for your quiver. Are you ready? Also, production is not allowed, and this is a labor law issue. Which, if you want to bring this up, they are not allowed to go longer than having a 12-hour turnaround. Since this is the weekend, they went overboard. But you could reasonably say, like, this would have pushed production another 2 hours if this was a typical day. Mm-hmm. You could be like, well, I'm looking to be compensated, but I also want to make sure this doesn't happen again, so that I'm not forced to, I'll just say snitch on you guys, but you don't have to say that. But if they put you in that position where you're starting your day an hour before and having to stay an hour after, then they should also, the production should ripple that 2 hours so that you have a 12-hour turnaround, because that's California law, baby. That's they would be breaking the law if they didn't allow you to have 12 hours between when you got off and when you started again.
I feel like the frustration is built in. It's built in so many ways.
Oh, yeah.
Because as you're trying to get through it, there's so much... Well, okay, but I'm... Given that I'm hauling stuff and trying to clean the place up,
Yeah.
it's like, so we can all get out of there, but I can't be doing any of that while they're saying action.
Nope.
So the more... It's like... It's exponential. Like, the more they do, the longer it takes...
To get everything else done.
Not just because they're going longer. So adding 30 minutes isn't just adding 30 minutes. It's really adding an hour because of the time that
You aren't
me
able
and
to capitalize.
and the rest of the art department couldn't work while the action was going, right?
Yeah.
And it came to this, I don't know, this weird... Man, see, my brain is not working, Sean.
Yeah,
my
it's
words
fine.
are fucking failing me. It does not feel good.
This is what a capitalist dystopia feels like inside of one's mind. The only reason I'm able to do this podcast is because the government's giving me money because of my open heart and my cancer. Only if you're crippled enough, only if you are sufficiently handicapped do you get a break from the capitalist nightmare. Only if you are broken or you've exploited the system well enough to exploit other people.
Well, I'll just say it's a very, I was going to say poisonous, then I was going to say toxic. It's all wrong. Everything's wrong.
Everything's wrong.
Everything's wrong.
But,
it became this, I don't know if psychotic is the right word, but
yeah,
by the end of it, it's like everyone's trying to work fast and work hard.
And quiet.
Not because they want to do the work, but because they're trying to not do the work.
Yeah, because they want to just have it done. Yeah.
So, but there's also this lingering question about if you're being paid for it. So it's like we're working in the time when we're not being compensated so we can not be compensated for less time.
Yeah.
But we're also working harder at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're trying to get it done faster.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to exert more labor, work harder because I'm not being paid? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And yet that's what happens, and then everyone's doing it. And there's also a camaraderie and a team effort aspect of it. It's like, well, we all need to get through it.
Yeah, we all need to be
we're
done.
all at the mercy of the director unless we, rise up and take our fucking prop Jesuses and start making a fuss about it.
Well, and just look at this. Like, regardless of this movie, I mean, there are at least protections on larger scale movies.
Yeah.
But it's not movies. It's television. It's commercials. It's fucking YouTube videos. Everybody is pushing everything to the nth degree or the nth level as hard as they can. And who gets all the money? Oh, fucking YouTube, NBC, Universal, fucking Blumhouse. Like, these guys are fucking, they can fucking they're just...
Yeah, and they can just put their name on the marquee, or not on the marquee, but on the
credits.
poster,
Yeah.
right in that little place. Now, my name will be in the credits, so...
Yeah. And
let's
you
keep
can put it
going.
on your IMDb.
I've got the timer set, man. We're going to be okay.
Yeah. No, but I'm just... we haven't even reached 45 minutes yet?
Well, I set it for 40.
Okay.
And there's still 10 minutes left.
Shall we go 10 minutes farther this way?
Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
do it. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. And then just, when the timer goes off, turn around.
Yeah. Super simple.
Yeah.
We get to set our own time, Sean.
Yes.
Our mind walk can be as long or as fucking short as we want. This is the kind of production day I want. That's why I wanted to come out here.
Yes.
I wanted to do the hike. I'm like, oh, right, this feels good. This is nice.
I think we should also get ourselves in the point where that we're only doing an hour and a half. Ugh. I don't want to say that because I love the idea of putting up these giant, massive...
Oh, I think we should do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
But we should just be prepared to do a tight hour and a half when the going gets tough and we don't have much time.
Yeah.
And this week is going to be real hard for me because...
Yeah, because you're stiff.
Now, I get that I'm complaining about it and I've only been doing this for one day and it ground me down.
But also...
But now I've signed up for another 5 days of it. And by the time I get to the end of that, I know I'm just going to be just so fucking beat.
Well,
and it's not my first time on set. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been an extra before, and I've done a couple other things. So it's not like I went in completely blind as to what this could be. Oh man, as I was getting the tour, so the woman who was my sort of immediate superior in the art department, I don't even know the names of all these fucking positions.
Whose job you just got?
Whose job I just got. I thought I was just going to be hauling
Driving a
shit.
truck.
Turns out I'm now going to be the set dresser.
I mean, like, I'd say, like, at this point, you're a producer because you've used your credit card.
Right. Okay. Makes
You're
sense.
a producer.
And when I showed up there, it was like, who are you? Who is this guy? Because I was filling in for one of the, how do you want to label this character in our lives?
Motorcycle man.
Motorcycle man?
Yes.
Sounds great. So Motorcycle man, who's pretty handy with the tools, clearly.
Yes.
Couldn't take this job, and then, Sean, thank you, recommended me for it because he wanted to see me suffer.
Hey, I was more like, I know my bro needs some cash. You actually said something about your bank account the other day, and I was like, we got to figure this out.
No, it's absolutely right. So I'm grateful for that, and so I'll be going back and doing it again. And I hate having that thought and that feeling of just, it's like, oh, well, this is shitty, but I don't want to complain too much. I want to be a team player, and I want the money. So I'll just take it.
Give us the money, Lebowski.
And I get that it's hard work. That's fine. As you've talked about, I don't like the sort of receding goalpost aspect of it. And I don't like the feeling of just, never knowing when it's going to end. And knowing that it's just kind of taken for granted that you're like a hostage there. I'm a hostage there.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave. I had to drive the van back. I didn't want to do the unloading of the van after we got back because it was already going to be well past the 12 hours and I had shit to do the next day, When I rented the truck, I said, they need it back by 7 a.m. And
there was pushback, right?
The gentleman with the long stare, as we'll say.
Yes.
He had a long stare of 22 years. 22 years. He actually said to me at the end of the day, he said, thanks for your hard work. Then he said, I haven't had a day off in 22 years.
Which, okay, so now I can appreciate the work ethic, but I'm also like, what kind of fucking psychotic person is that?
It is psychotic.
That's like, and I get it, like it's probably rewarding to feel that connected and that fucking like got that much hustle, pure hustle. But it's like,
but could you imagine if the only social interactions you had and your only view of the world was through the lens of the set? My God.
I was in film school. I can imagine that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then he says, but really I've every day is a vacation because I'm working doing what I love. And I'm like, bitch, I love hiking and talking. I love being a weird performance artist. Like, you can't sell me. I just can't be sold on it. I can't be sold on it, Sean, is what I'm getting. I can't buy into it.
Yeah.
I'm just there to bust my hump for a bit for a paycheck. And that's great. But whatever tricks they might use to be like, to try and romanticize what it is that I'm doing, it's like, I'm not buying it. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah.
But they're also pitching themselves on that. And to them, maybe it is romantic. I don't want to take that away from them, but I feel like it just becomes this kind of like cult-like energy.
Well, it is. I mean, this is, you're getting jumped into the cult of Hollywood, and you're getting jumped in on one of the most culty sides of it, too.
The horror flick?
Horror, oh.
Right.
Fucking Wizard today when on the podcast, like, oh, yeah, I've been involved in, I know a bunch of artists and this and that. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I get it. For me, I see it so much.
Right.
Like, I've seen every kind of production cultist out there.
But let me tell you how it was for me. I saw that Wednesday Night was on this movie.
Who's Wednesday Night?
Apparently she was in something. She was in some mainstream horror thing from a couple decades ago or something. I forget what. But I saw Wednesday Night and I was like, oh, Tuesday Thomas is on this? Awesome. She has a character Wednesday Night. I was like, I know Wednesday Night. It wasn't that Wednesday Night, sadly. That would have been great.
Oh, just another Wednesday Night.
Well, I think that's her real stage name as opposed to a character real stage name.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Wednesday Night is another character, if you will, that Tuesday Thomas does.
Ah, I got you. But this was a real actress
named Wednesday Night.
Wednesday Night. Okay.
So I was excited that Tuesday of Freak Show LA was going to be on it and that we could talk about what was going on, but no.
Yeah. Oh, it's because Tuesday's great because she's kind of like, her cynicism is right. Like, right.
Oh, she's got it.
She's like the queen of fucking cynicism.
Yeah.
Which is what's kind of amazing and so refreshing about her. How you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, it's getting just this is the perfect temperature right now. Yeah. You too.
You too.
As my friend Travis used to say, you know, whenever somebody says some kind of parting greeting, always tell them the name of one of your favorite bands. You too.
Okay.
It's corny. It's a thing we came up with in high school. So a lot of times we would just say Big Country at each other.
Well, yeah, it was always just one more thing. And what do we got here? Toothbrush?
Toothbrusher.
Oh, we got to announce something, Sean, for this Monday. It's Mind Walk. But we're not going to do it right now because our break is coming up soon anyway, and we'll do all the promo shit then. How about that?
Yeah.
So look,
cynicism.
And I'm just biting off just this little shred, just a little shred of the nightmare, just putting a little cheese in my pancake.
Oof.
And I'm just thinking about, this is going to make it really hard to go for my hikes. Yeah. The life-giving, life-affirming hikes. What happens if I get too tired to go on my hikes? I can't let that fucking happen. I can't let that happen.
Well,
you were saying, weren't you saying the other day?
Well,
that if you can't do your hikes, if you put yourself in a situation where you can't give yourself 2 to 3 hours a day to do your hikes, that you failed. Am I wrong that you said that?
I did say that. But I think that's what the system, the capitalist dystopia wants. Is like, oh, your hike isn't productive. It's not giving us anything. It's not giving the dystopia any of its precious life force.
Right.
You know, why should you have time to yourself to build a soul, to try to extract yourself from this dystopia? No. Sleep, or watch TV.
Let us advertise to you.
Watch TV or sleep. Those are the only two states of rest.
Watching TV and sleep, better yet, both at the same time.
Oh yes, because then you're generating advertising revenue for people while you're asleep.
Hey, you guys hear that?
Also,
maybe you hear those night sounds.
Or get a gym membership.
Yeah,
that's a proper way to relax. Make your muscles, build your muscles up so that you can do your job longer and better. So you don't get exhausted as easily. Oh, and you should order this food box. It's the perfect nutritional food pellet delivered directly to your mouth.
This podcast has been brought to you by
Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare.
Disgusting Pristine Food Box. Have your disgusting pristine food box delivered right to your door mouth.
Right? Just open your mouth, put the credit card in your mouth, swipe it, and food will enter into it.
It's made of real fresh vegetable matter compote.
It is one perfect food that includes all the other foods in one perfect bite.
It is a sandwich that is a burger. It has all that sinful delight you crave with none of the flavor and just all of the phytonutrients and microaggressions.
Little microaggressions. You have to chew it. Nom, nom, nom. Not very much, though. You don't want to taste it.
And every bite you take feeds a starving orphan, and that orphan is you.
Okay, cut.
Mind walk. Mind walk.
Mind walker.
Thank you, Sean. We both have walkie names with Hump and Walksher, but let's take a moment to
just like take in where you're at. Yeah, take a drink of water. Mike's getting his. In celebration of our first week of production, I went to Recreational Equipment Incorporated, REI, and got a Nalgene, an REI branded Nalgene for him. And if we do get any sponsors, Nalgene, REI, fuck yeah, good companies. REI is a co-op.
During this little mind walk break we're having, look guys, rant about the capitalist dystopian nightmare all you want. Get fired up, get angry, but also drop your anger. Just drop it. Just drop it down. Breathe in the air. This is so beautiful, guys. You don't understand this, or maybe you do understand because you've been on the hike. But the sun is setting. We can see the full spectrum of the rainbow in the light coming up from the valley, even through the disgusting smog and the twinkling lights of the city, but also just faced with all of this brush that we're in. And the smells are great, the sounds are great, the breeze is perfect, the temperature is pristine. We are just in a beautiful little moment here. I'm so glad we have these moments. It sounds cheesy as fuck, but I'm really glad we have these moments.
We're putting the cheese in this. The thing that we want to bring to people is just these moments of peace, reflection, just be able to be, you're listening to our podcast. Maybe you're doing your own exercise or you're hiking, but there's always a moment where we're going to remind you to just breathe and drink water.
Yeah, really. I mean, really, you listening now, seriously. Whether you're washing your dishes or whatever you're doing, it's still going to be there when you get back.
Yeah.
Just give yourself a few seconds just to be where you are and just to be with yourself.
Breathe it in and maybe give yourself a little hug. Just give yourself a little hug, and you could just whisper to yourself, "I love you."
And you're in control of what you do with your moments.
Yeah. You're free within your mind to think whatever you want. Man, it's been a wonderful day.
It has been.
It has been.
While you guys are thinking what you want and now that your mind is super vulnerable, subscribe to Mindwalk Podcast. Follow Mindwalk Pod on all social media. And hey, guess what, guys? We're changing
our
Patreon model.
Yeah.
And I think what we're gonna do this time.
This is a work in progress. What's that? What's the Japanese word?
Kaizen.
Kaizen.
Small incremental improvements as we go.
Yes.
What do you say we get back to walking because we don't want to miss the almighty op?
Oh yeah, it's true. We got a date with a puppet show. We got a man date with a puppet show.
Almighty Op Saturdays at 9 p.m.
on your Instagram, 9 p.m. Pacific,
California time.
Yes. If you need to be softened, if you need to be brought into the loving embrace of an Instagram puppet show.
So our Patreon.
Yes. 2 tiers. We're getting rid of the capitalist dystopian nightmare tier, because what we realized is we were creating our own tiny little capitalist dystopia in that tier.
Yes. It was deliberately made to be so. We wanted it to be hard for you to want to do it. We wanted it to be hard for you to accept, because we wanted to push you into the Barney the Wonder Dog Cadets. And the price was wrong. We were basically daring you not to do it. Am I wrong about that?
No, this is exactly. We wanted to use as much like capitalist dystopic kind of marketing and you said the popcorn analogy.
Speaking of which, I had to vacuum a lot of popcorn on set. That was a very dignified moment. As I was vacuuming the popcorn, one of the actresses walked by and was like, "Thanks for vacuuming up my spilled popcorn." So you didn't spill shit. That was intentional. You intentionally spilled that popcorn.
That's part of your performance.
So you can be chased by a fucking vampire down a hallway and then crash through a breakaway door. That's why you spilled the popcorn. The crackling of the corn, the heat on the kernels. I thought I was popping popcorn in the fucking vacuum. And then I had to scrape the kernels out of where the rug met the wall, just in that little area where the vacuum couldn't get, and I couldn't pull the tube out to affix it to the thing, and I was just on my hands and knees scraping kernels out of the wedge between the carpet and the wall, and then throwing them into the middle of the carpet so I could vacuum them up. And then someone comes along, and there's a light in there, and they want to test it for some reason. Now there's just this blinding light shining in my face. It's 5:30 in the morning. I'm vacuuming popcorn. I'm blind. Turn it off. I can't see. No, I can't see. It's dark, and I can't see the popcorn. The light is on. I can't see the popcorn. Oh, God. It needs to be done. It needs to be clean. We need to make it look like we pretended to put this church back in working order. But then they'll just fine us anyway because it's such a slapdash affair. It's barbaric. It's degrading. And in that moment, I say to my beautiful angel, my beautiful, chestily endowed, midriff showing, beautiful person angel that's showing me the ropes and naming all the props for me and telling me how to go about it and telling me, don't let them walk all over you, Michael. Don't let them walk all over you. You have to put your foot down. If you do that, then they'll take advantage of you, Michael. Remember, she says, you're bringing value to this production.
Oh, she sounds like she's a socialist.
You are bringing value to this production. You're an asset.
She really said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
She said that to me.
God damn.
And I was like, yeah, I am.
I would love at some point, once you get through the nightmare of, because you've got the call sheet.
Yeah. I've got her contact, so.
Yeah. Get her on the fucking podcast.
It'd be great.
Fuck yeah.
So, I said to her as I'm vacuuming the stuff, I said, I was supposed to be the star of this film. And now look at me.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my God, that is so good.
And she said, yeah, that's my story too.
In a weird way, this is what makes the dystopia worth it. In a weird fucking way. That's like you do these horrible moments and then you share that beautiful fucking jewel together. You guys made each other laugh. You tickled each other in the depths of hell. In the literal depths of hell.
And then just the image of a guy just like we're hauling shit and then there's one dude on a little stepladder just scraping putty off of a wall. Just scraping. Why did they put it there in the first place? Did it need to be there? But now they're just spending hours scraping it away. Next room. This guy's job is just to scrape putty for a fucking hour.
Oh my God.
And then someone came up to me and said, because, of course, I'm wearing a goat versus fish shirt and
Of
mask.
course.
And someone comes up to me, I don't know what her position was. She comes up to me, she goes, "Your shirt is mesmerizing. I'm obsessed with your shirt." And I got to ask if she was a goat or fish. Like, I got just a little indulgence.
Oh.
A little room
Well,
to show. But I got self-conscious. I was like, I can't make this all about, I'm here to serve. I'm here, ready to serve. For all my complaining, I'm there to serve, Sean.
yes.
I am there to be useful. I'm there to pick up the thing and move it.
Yes.
I'm there to take direction and to help you make this thing go in exchange for money.
Yes.
That's what I'm here to do.
But I will even say that even that little interaction, or the little, like, I'll say the little fantasies that people will say, I'm working on this script,
Yeah.
or I've got this project, this thing I'm working on, and shit.
Whoa. Another snake?
Tiny,
Snake?
tiny, tiny one.
Oh, I can't see shit.
Yeah. That's all right,
Oh, is
bud.
it like a baby rattler?
Do you want me to carry you? Okay, I'll carry you.
I can't even see it. I'm a little scared.
Oh, just keep coming. He was going off the trail.
Okay.
There's a little one. I couldn't tell what brand.
Sean, we got to bring our headlamps.
Yeah, well, did we even know we were going on this dark of a hike?
I guess not. So those little moments you were talking about.
Those are the little moments that, if you could form a coalition, if you could get your next production going, then it's about you.
Yeah.
You're the one. You're the center. You're the guy. It's like those, and that's, while you're on set, that's what you're doing, is like trying to find people you can work with, or figuring out who's doing the financing, or like, it's like once you're on set or once you're in that world, you can start negotiating on your behalf.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And that's why, someone was saying, I wear a different Star Wars shirt every day or something. I'm like, I'm going to be wearing the same fucking shirt every day.
Yeah.
Every day I walk in that bitch.
Yeah.
It's going to be goat versus fish in their face.
Well, eventually you'll be, where's the goat versus fish guy?
Yeah. Where's goat versus fish?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of funny. But
yeah.
anyway, back to, that was a lovely derailment. But back to the tiers.
The tears. Oh, the tears.
So what happened with the capitalist, they are tiers. We shed a tier. The capitalist dystopian nightmare tier, it was going to become a nightmare to differentiate and segregate
In service.
the content from you, because we'd have to upload the podcast episodes we got to upload all 5 of them, especially for the patrons. The $5 Trail Angel tier, the Trail Angel tier remains, and that will get you access to 5 episodes of Mindwalk a week, and otherwise the Trail Moochers will get only 2. So those will be behind a content barrier wall, right?
Yes.
And then we would have to separate the capitalist dystopian, the video and the pictures of all the stuff in its own tier. And then we'd have to have a separate tier and a separate post for the Barney the Wonder Dog cadets. So we were going to have to make 3 posts. It was going to clutter up the feed. It was going to take our time. So we're going to do it differently. We've got Barney the Wonder Dog cadets. Remains a tier. I think a $10 tier.
Straight $10.
$10, you get the Barney, and the Barney the Wonder Dog cadets, you get all the video. You get the video, you get the pictures, you get Barney, you get the whole extra package of all the extra content. You get the sports ball collection, you get the footwear collection. I think we should stick with this footwear concept because it's so hiking.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
for sure.
It's not even adjacent. Like, it is about walking.
Yeah,
and
by the
hiking.
way, on the hike I did today, where I feel like I cheated on you a little bit, or Barney and I cheated on you.
Yeah?
We didn't cheat on you together. Well, we cheated on you together. Oh, man, it's so complicated. There was a sports ball shoe in the river. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to take a picture of it because it's outside of the parameters of what we've agreed to.
So you'll get all of that in the Barney the Wonder Dog cadets in addition to the 5 episodes a week. But I think I'm not sure, but I think it makes sense. Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare, it's such a part of our brand.
Yeah.
I think we might do a $1 or perhaps a $2 or a $1.99 tier.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, where it's just give us the money, Lebowski. Give us the money, Lebowski.
Yeah,
and you don't
what
get
do you
shit.
get? What do you get, Sean, for joining the Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare tier?
Well, you get nothing.
You get nothing!
Nothing.
You get nothing for joining it. Yes, you get our gratitude, I guess.
Begrudgingly.
And you get the satisfaction of supporting the podcast and us walking and the art that you like to listen to. In other words, nothing. All those other ways of saying nothing, that's what you get.
Give us the money, Lebowski.
And that, I feel, is really almost more on brand. You know, Sean, I gotta say.
Yeah.
There was something a little off-brand about the Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare tier because we were kind of offering them something legitimate for it.
Yeah.
So it didn't quite... So on one hand, it's like,
yeah.
Oh, it's garbage, but also here's this stuff of value that we want you to pay for. It felt a little off-brand, didn't it?
Yeah. For the Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare, you get nothing. You get nothing. You know why? Because you're worthless. No, I can't even say that. You're worth at least $1.99. You're worth at least $1.99 a month. Forever and ever and ever. Never cancel that subscription.
So you think... so $1 is probably a little too cheap, right? If someone's going to pony up... Because they can't, or I should say shopping cart up, they can't say how much they want to give us a month. We have to put it in a tier.
Yes.
So if we make it $1, then it's just $1. We could make it $1.99 and then maintain the same. $1.99 seems like a more dystopian price.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't
it seems really the thing is for $1.99. It seems like you're getting something. It really seems. It's got the price point of something.
And it also has kind of the ACAB. It's like kind of like 911, but it's 199.
Oh, sure.
Let's just throw that in there. So as of right now, Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare tier, $199. Man, that fucking map walker scared the fuck out of me just now.
I could tell. It's like you paused just as it started talking. I was just like, ah.
But then I think we're probably going to also add, and I don't know what this tier is going to be called, but it's basically the $100 tier where you get to go on private hikes with us.
Yeah. Record it or not record it. It's up to you. One hike a month.
So that's going to be the state of the Patreon as of now. And we also decided that because this is going to be the Monday episode, and because in the future, the Monday episode is going to be one of the free ones a week, that we're just going to lay down the gravy of getting you to become a patron a little extra thick on Mondays.
Yeah.
A little extra thick. Because we want to turn that free listener, that moocher, into they at least should accept that they're part of the Capitalist Dystopian Nightmare and just give us money.
Yeah.
And if not, then buy more episodes.
Yeah. For sure.
So we're going to lay that gravy on, baby.
And again, like, who is even our audience? Don't know. It's you. But we will find you. We will find you.
And it's you from the future. So after we're already popular, and
Yes.
now you're going back and listening to this, then you'll be like, okay, now I'll become a patron too. But it feels more real when we talk to them like they're there, doesn't it? I think if we build it, they will come, Sean. I really do.
Yes, that's what we're doing. If we walk it, they will come. Like these guys wanted to go on a hike.
Yeah.
They were just like, yes, bring us on a hike. Rich's analysis was, if you just invite any comedian, they'll definitely come on a hike with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck.
Now,
I really got to get that extra mic now.
I wonder if by doing it, we're probably going to enrich. Some people are they're gonna be like, oh man, I feel great after that hike. I should go and do that more.
Yeah, let's please. I mean, as much as I grimace whenever there's a lot of people on a hiking trail, ultimately it's a good thing. I just want to be the only genius who's engaging in it. But, we're a community. We can share the trails. There's plenty of trails out there too.
Yeah.
How many trails have we hiked where there's like literally no one?
Have we even said where we are today?
Oh shit, we're at Nancy Hoover Pohl. We didn't announce it.
Because it's so classic. This one is just so classic. I mean, am I wrong that this is sort of the classic Mindwalk trail?
This is it. This is where probably most of our friendship was conceived, on this trail. It's also just the best default trail close to both of our houses. So I guess sometimes if we don't announce the trail, just assume it's here.
Yeah.
And again, like, this shape is going to come up on the map like a lot. Because it's, sometimes we'll go a little bit farther like we did today. Sometimes we'll go all the way down to Fryman. Ah, damn. I'm glad we're hitting this so hard, too.
Because we have a puppet show to get to?
Because we have a puppet show to get to, and it feels good to hike this fast.
Look, this one, I dare say that no matter how good a shape we get, doing this one is always going to be like a decent heart rate. Decent, as I've been calling heart medicine lately.
Yes, I like that.
And yeah, it's just a good rep to do. A very good rep to do.
Good, nice default rep. So I'm going to make a case to not loop today.
Okay.
Because
make your case.
So it's getting a little dark.
Yeah. Now,
I'm familiar enough with the hike that I think we'll be okay no matter what. But if we go to the loop spot, it is really tricky going down that one hill.
Okay.
Right? And that's also the spot where last time, not on Mike, but you and I just deciding to do a night hike, encountered some kind of creature in the bush. And
yep.
We got a little scared. We were kind of little scaredy cats. And it was actually in that delicate region where you could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Where the creature was. So it was kind of like a double whammy.
It was also in that moment that we had another realization that how it would have been so great if we got that on mic.
Right? Which probably encouraged us to be recording this right now. So,
although look, it opens up here and it gets just a little lighter.
Yeah. So what my other point for going this way is as
hold
we
up
get
one sec, Sean.
Huh?
Hold up one sec, just one sec.
No worries. The crickets are amazing right now. I wonder if we're going to be coming. Like, I also want to go this way because we'll get the frogs.
Yeah, let's get that. Let's give them like a few seconds of crickets though. Just right now.
Yeah.
You notice how there's like these two wavelengths. There's one that's going just like, it's like just like a constant stream.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that's going like, you hear those two distinct things?
Oh yeah. And then I'm hearing a guy over here going, yeah. There's one guy just like super horny cricket.
Oh, that kind of like.
So there's a track out there.
They sound better when they do it than we trying to imitate them.
Yeah, so much. There's an amazing track out on the internet somewhere where they've slowed it down to like 1,000%, and it's one of the most beautiful, haunting sounds you've ever heard. It's really amazing. But yeah, it's the forest becomes a whole different place at night.
Ooh.
You're
I
right,
thought
bud?
that was a critter. It was just a shadow. So I've turned on my iPhone flashlight. I really enjoyed the walking in the dark because I have a fantasy that like I want to build up my darkness vision.
Yeah.
But then I also
don't want to trip and fall.
And I don't want you to trip and fall. And
I appreciate it. Yeah, the shadows take on different meanings at night. Everything becomes a little creepier.
This isn't like a bad, weird look either. Normally the light of an iPhone is harsh, but kind of, this is a cool mood, actually.
Not too
bad. Extra bit of light.
Barney's shadow, so cute with his little bobbing ears. So then the other reason is there's a lot of overcast part of the trail on that side. It's overcast. It's really dark, and it's where the bad part of the trail is. But here, we have the choice when we get to the switchbacks of whether going up the switchbacks, which are a little bit difficult, or just staying on the trail.
Switchback.
So we'll be up at the fork here in just a second. And I vote we don't loop.
Okay.
Okay.
When Sean is voting for don't loop, you know it's serious, folks. Sean, how does it feel? And I don't mean that in a cheesy way. I'm thinking, like, doesn't it feel good to... I keep dismissing the cheese. You're right, Sean. I need to embrace the cheese.
Embrace the cheese. We're cheesy guys.
I don't need to fucking apologize for the cheese. I love cheese.
Yes.
Cheese is delicious.
I just can't eat very much of it.
I just had nachos today.
Oh, yeah. So it's funny. At Pronto Burger...
Yeah.
Where we had lunch today in Gardena, I think. Pronto Burger in Gardena. And it was delicious. You got chicken nachos.
Yep.
And I got a double hamburger. I ordered a double hamburger.
Ah, okay. So you're going to do just fine.
But they gave me a double cheeseburger.
Oh, my God.
Which, I mean, I think I paid for a double hamburger, which is fine. Getting extra cheese for free. But it was like one of those things where it's like, I don't want to fucking complain.
Yeah.
Just eat what I've been given.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if they had charged me for a cheeseburger and I got a cheeseburger instead of a hamburger, it's fine.
Yep.
It doesn't hurt anything.
It's perfectly good food.
Yeah. And it was delicious. It was just the kind of burger that you want from a burger joint.
It smelled great.
So we're not going down that fork. And what were you saying about the cheesiness of the decision?
Oh, just that we did it again. We did it again. We published over 12 hours of content last week.
Yeah.
And after all that, and all that worrying about how difficult it would be to edit the first episode, which became the first Switchback episode on last Friday, we published our first recording.
Yeah.
We published podcast numero uno, the first recorded Mind Walk, and now it's out there in the world.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it, and we made it easy on ourselves. We made it like that it is not necessary to do even the elaborate production that they did at the podcast today.
Yeah.
You know, which I was like, oh shit, guys, guys, we got this. You know, of course, you couldn't have playback from your iPhone. I mean, we could probably figure out that if we needed to. Actually, you know what? I just came up with a way of doing it in my head that if we wanted to get some kind of playback material, literally you just buy another Tascam and you just plug it, you know, 3.5 millimeter plug into the fucking phone to the recorder. Boom. It'll just play back into the recorder. So
yeah,
really,
I don't know though. I don't really want my ears filled up. When I'm exercising really hard with headphones in, my head gets really hot because through the ear holes,
oh yeah,
so much heat escapes.
Yes.
And also just the lack of comfort. Do I really want to be hiking for 3 hours with headphones in?
No.
I really don't.
No.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea for a rig, but I just don't really want to do it.
What I'm saying, if we want to play like sound cues off of a phone,
oh,
yes, I just figured out the way to do that, which is we'd have to have another Tascam recorder, or maybe we could have a splitter, maybe.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
My first instinct is like, oh, well, it's not like pure nature sound, though. It's not. Doesn't that kind of take you out of the hike?
It could.
Bit?
It depends on what we're playing back. You know?
Well, what's something you'd want to play back, Sean?
We could play back a I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, I was able to figure out the technology, but I was not able to figure out a good use for it. Because
You mean like the atom bomb?
well, and also, let's say for the investment of the equipment, like $200,
Yeah.
to just play the Elliot Deutsch cue.
Oh, like in episode?
At the beginning and at the end.
That almost feels like it's more work, though.
Yes, exactly.
It's more work than just having the template.
Yes, just editing it.
I like the idea, though. It's like, no, it's all happening right now.
Yeah. Oh, that is hilarious.
Another shout out to Elliot Deutsch Big Band.
Thank you. I can't wait to meet Elliot. Do you think he'd want to go on a mind walk with us?
I think he could be convinced.
Yeah.
I'm concerned you guys actually... I'm
Won't
worried
need
you guys are kind of... I had a premonition that you guys would get into a big fight.
Ooh, that'd be great. Awesome. I was going to say, like, I thought you were going to say you guys won't need me anymore. You guys will become best buds and like, I'm going to do a walking big band podcast with Elliot. I don't know if I have time.
Sean, you don't understand. You're like the, I'm trying to come up with some analogy between like, you know, the mistress and the married woman or something. Yeah. But like, if anyone's been abandoned, Elliot's been abandoned for me to go on hikes with you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really the reverse. I haven't abandoned you, Elliot. I love you. But I don't think he'd be down for certainly not doing it 5 days a week. He's, you know, I don't think...
he's a working stiff.
He wants to be a working stiff. But in any case...
So now we're coming up to the...
Yeah, I think you guys would get in a fight over one of the few things that I think... a legendary fight could be had that I don't know, that could lead to some unforgivable, I can't be with that person kind of thing.
And I'm taking my music out of their podcast because he dared to speak words that I disagree with.
Well, Sean, but there are some things, right, that get under your skin. I'm wondering if I shouldn't talk it out with you now.
Yeah, sure. What do you think it is?
I think he would start giving you some guff about Barney not being on a leash.
Oh, sure. Great. I mean, the thing is, it's like, to me, it's like, at this point, it's such a like, you saw how I transitioned you into acceptance.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, and I had a lot of the arguments that I would assume he would make.
Okay, so real quick.
Yeah. Oh, we're in the frog zone.
The frog's here. So beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah.
You know, we talk pretty loud on the podcast, and
It's
sometimes
true.
that's because we're a little far away from each other.
Yeah.
But we could embrace talking a little more quietly, one, because it's soothing, and two, because they could then hear the nature of sounds more by comparison, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's right. I was kind of thinking that a little bit myself too. And yeah, there are a lot of reasons, like, when they were talking about the Karens,
Yeah.
and fuck the couch, fuck that couch, or whatever for Karens. I wanted to intersperse, I met Horse Karen this week. Horse Karen.
Oh God, Horse Karen.
Horse Karen. And we just
got
went.
Got to catch them all. The Karen Mon. I think you made that joke.
Yes. And just, you made the observation, it's like you just avoid the big boss. Just stay out of their range. And we did. And we did not hear her evil reckoning. She did not put a curse upon us. But, yeah, I know it's against the law. I am aware that it is illegal. I know that. I also don't give a shit, like as far as the legal stuff goes. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm as I always say, is like just somebody trying to stop you from doing the illegal thing is just a negotiation. It's just a negotiation. And a lot of times, if an authority figure is negotiating with me to put Barney on a leash, I will immediately put him on a leash. And as soon as I'm away from the authority figure, I take him off the leash. Because, you know, you even agreed with me on this, like, Barney's our friend. And putting him on a leash seems a little humiliating.
Yeah.
A little bit, a tiny bit.
And there are some times, more often than you might
Agree, yeah.
agree or choose to.
Yeah.
I mean, there are places where you, of your own accord, will put Barney on a leash because you think it's unsafe for Barney.
Yeah, or pick him up.
And I think the number of places that's for me is higher than you.
Yeah, but only slightly.
And we've talked about that, and we've worked that out, and that's great. But I think that
it would give Elliot too much anxiety to be in a constant state of Barney being unleashed for him to be able to go on a hike.
Well, look, it's not, the legal thing is really just one aspect of it. As you know,
Sure.
The other big aspect is the quote-unquote safety aspect, right?
Yeah.
That's basically the two things they come at you with, right?
Yes. Well,
It's illegal, it's unsafe.
well, and one
probably
is
the unsafety argument, such as it is, you know, anyone listening, you can decide your own merits on that, and you can hear us argue about it. But as I'm presenting it to you, Sean,
yeah.
that one gets under your skin a lot more than the legal one.
Because it's based, well, but also the whole it's unsafe argument is very solipsistic. Okay, we're to the switchbacks. It's very solipsistic, right? Where it's basically like the inferred thing is they don't say I feel it's unsafe. They just make the statement it's unsafe. Which I think, again, kind of moving goalposts, or maybe there's a lot of criterium on which something can be unsafe. And I tend to, disregard or disbelieve that there's just a universal state of unsafeness. That's my big argument against the world is, okay, I'll go even deeper on this. There's no safe place in the universe. We're all going to die. Life is an inherently unsafe proposition. And so, all the time and energy and money we do to mitigate danger sometimes could be a whole wasted life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is one thing that, speaking from in economics talk, that whether or not I agreed with you on whether or not a particular action should be taken on the basis of nominally increasing safety, I fully accept that safety is not a free action.
Oh, good. Yes.
I understand that any time you choose to do one thing over another, like, there is a cost. It may not be money. And I don't just mean...
energetic.
And I don't just mean the cost of, if the thing goes wrong, that might go wrong.
No, like having Barney on a leash means...
But I'm talking about just the doing of it can have a cost. Just like sitting in your home, never going outside. I mean, there are a lot of ways we could talk about how that is unsafe, for your health and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But, it is safe from other perspectives. But yeah, there's an obvious cost. So,
well, no, but I mean,
and it's up for people to decide. Hold on, I want to I want to ask though.
Yeah.
Sometimes you talk about, if we speak of it, we may will it into existence.
Sometimes, yeah.
But I'm wondering if by speaking about this imagined fight that I might be dispelling its power.
Yeah, that's what I think you're doing. I think you are. So there's both ways of casting a spell and also warding against bad mojos,
warding.
Like, I think that's the power of spelling out the ideas.
Because I suddenly feel like kind of an asshole here. I'm like assuming...
Sure.
Elliot's going to get in this fight, and that it's going to be this negative thing. Like, who am I to assume what is fucking...
Well...
I mean, I know him.
Yeah.
But I feel kind of almost shitty just
bringing it up. No, but
saying his name and being like, oh, he would be like this and it would be like that. You know, and I feel real bad about it.
Sure. But I'll even back away and give you a couple little outs here. If your friend were to listen to the podcast, which I think is going to be very unlikely.
Oh, he'll check it out. I mean,
like this one?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, yeah. So just saying may the odds ever be in our favor. So the odds that he's going to actually listen to this conversation are very low. But I think your empathy for him is actually very large. You're saying, like, I understand my friend's point of view, and even speaking about it at a time when he may listen to it may help him in the future if we were to go on a hike, mitigate some of that anxiety against me.
It may just.
Yeah.
And also, Elliot, if you are listening, this is what I was talking about when it came to the art of what I'm trying to do, which is I'm here having a conversation. I was nervous about talking about my experiences on set because I was like, oh, what if someone hears it, or what if someone takes it the wrong way, or it's like I'm...
Could you imagine if they actually listened to our podcast?
Right.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
So
wouldn't Chesty Art Girl be like, ooh, is that me they're talking about? Wouldn't that be delightful to know that people are coming to our podcast and going, ooh, is that me? Am I Motorcycle Boy? Yes, you are, Dan. You are. If you're actually listening to this, you can give yourself a little half stroke. That's fine. You're in here. You're you're a star of the show.
But as much as I'm reveling with you in the chestiness and beauty of my coworker from yesterday, don't worry, fellas. I was very professional on the set because the set is not a place for that nonsense. It's not. I can think it because we're human, and that's great. But, I'm not going to make that her fucking problem. One of the first things she said to me, she was saying how she sometimes felt that she was treated with some disrespect.
Yeah.
And I just heard that, and being who I am, I wasn't feeling in a defensive posture at all. Like, well, what do you mean? Like, what are you implying about me? I was just like, well, I have no intention to disrespect you.
Boom.
And from that point on, we were
on the same page.
We were, as how harmonious as a new hire can be with an experienced hand.
Oh, this was an amazing listen, like fucking top to bottom. We did it. We fucking raced in there. I don't even think did we hit an hour and a half? Just. I think we just hit an hour and a half.
19 minutes.
Oh well.
But I started a little bit late.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be damn close.
We're going to be damn close. And again, we'll make it up.
Yes.
Easily.
Guys, subscribe and follow Mindwalk Pod on social media. It's never too late to become a patron, to join the capitalist dystopian nightmare. I'm Mike.
I'm Sean. This is Mindwalk.